Hello, I'm Howard, pastor of the Roseville New Church, and welcome to Spiritual Shorts. Today I'm reflecting on a theme that resonates throughout history and also throughout our spiritual journeys. The human desire for simple rules to govern ours and especially other people's lives. A king, and how this desire often diverts us from God's divine leadership. Let's start with a story about a lifelong friendship spanning over 5 decades. This image is of me and my best friend in 1987. The enduring bond filled with shared memories and recurring 45-year-old jokes. It surprisingly mirrors our spiritual journey. Despite years of personal growth and significant life milestones, there are parts of us that remain spiritually youthful, echoing our collective longing for guidance and security. In the biblical narrative from 1 Samuel chapter 8, the children of Israel, feeling abandoned and vulnerable, they demand from Samuel a king. They believe a royal figure could provide the security and leadership they craved, similar to the nations around them. This request marked a significant spiritual regression, shifting from divine guidance under judges like Samuel to human governance, which they perceived as more tangible and effective. Samuel was the last judge and a prophet. He was central to this transition, despite his spiritual stature and deep connection with God. The people's demand reflected their deep yearning to be like other nations, which they equated with strength and success. This marked a departure from a life of faith and obedience towards a governance system that prioritized earthly power over divine direction. The Bible and history teach us that such transitions weren't just political but deeply spiritual. When the people of Jerusalem during Jesus' time, and some today thinking about his second coming, when they expect a king-like figure who will solve worldly problems, punish the wicked, and reward the righteous, we are reminded of this story from the book of Samuel. This expectation misses the essence of Jesus' mission, which is about spiritual renewal and transformation, not earthly dominion. Jesus aimed to establish a kingdom founded on spiritual truths and eternal life, not to overthrow Roman rule as many had hoped. This misunderstanding persists today, with some expecting Christ's second coming to be a dramatic earthly intervention. This view overlooks the true nature of his kingship, which is about changing hearts and minds, not just societal structures. This narrative serves as a metaphor for our personal spiritual walks. There are many times when we feel we've achieved spiritual maturity and we can rest, but this often leads to complacency. The disastrous outcome of such complacency forces us to acknowledge our weakness and the continuous need for divine guidance. Samuel's era represents a return to simpler faith, a reminder that although we mature in faith, the core of our spiritual journey should remain childlike in trust and dependence on God. As we reflect on our own desires for leadership and governance in our lives, let's remember the lesson from Samuel's time. True security and leadership comes not from emulating earthly powers, but from aligning ourselves with divine truth and divine good. Our ultimate king is not one adorned with earthly jewels, but the divine king who leads us with wisdom, compassion, and eternal foresight. So, as we navigate through our spiritual cycles, let's question our motives and our desires. Do we truly seek a king, or are we yearning for a deeper connection with our divine leader? Let this be a call to realign our hearts and minds to the divine rule, embracing spiritual truths over earthly illusions. Thank you for joining me for this episode of Spiritual Shorts. Remember, it's not about seeking a king who will fix all from above, but it's about letting our divine leader guide us from within, transforming our every thought and action. God bless you.